Hello ladies and gents, welcome to another video. I brought two broken Nintendo Switches from eBay and I'm going to try and fix them. So these were both from different sellers and one apparently has no power and the other has a blue screen of death. So two very different problems from two different sellers. Can I fix them both so I can resell them? If you do like this type of content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so that you're notified whenever I upload. And I'm also streaming on Twitch now, so if you want to check me out over there, I would really appreciate it. Give me a follow. I don't just fix stuff there, I also do gaming nights as well. And if you're feeling really generous and you think that I need to eat because I'm too skinny, then you can link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch and become a Twitch subscriber for free. And it helps me out by giving me around about $2.50 every month. So let's get into it. So I've got two switches here. And one is the blue screen of death one, that's this one here, and the other one is a apparent no power water damage, that's that one. And this no power water damage one is in really good condition, and it even comes with a free case. It did come with a dock as well, but I haven't brought that out of the house. That's just a dock, it's pretty boring, but that wasn't in the listing either, so it was kind of like a freebie, which is a nice bonus. So let's take a look at these and hopefully I can get them fixed. So here we have them. So let's go for eeny meeny miny this one. Let's have a look at this one first. This is a apparent water damage. So it's in really good condition. Really good condition. Got a screen protector. There's not really any scratches on it. No real bending to it. A little bit of bending but not much. The Joy-Con rails look pretty sweet. And overall it's in really good condition. So let's just open it up and see what we can do about getting it working. So the reason I'm opening it up without testing it to try and turn it on is because it's apparently water damaged. So I would rather open it up and see what's going on with it rather than waiting and wasting time just seeing what kind of current is being drawn. If there's liquid damage, then it's likely going to need tackling first anyway. So let's get this thing apart and we'll take it from there. So this one, I don't think this has ever been opened. Can't see any signs that it's been opened. No signs of chewed screws, anything like that. Although, this screwdriver seems to be acting up a little bit lately. Since I had a spate of chewed screws, my screwdrivers have been playing up. Okay, here we go with number one. So, taking a quick look then, oh okay, someone has been in here. And I can see corrosion around here, which is cool. Someone's definitely been in, they've unplugged this Joy-Con rail. Corrosion around the backlight. No corrosion around BQ. Cool. So I'll carry on disassembling. Someone has been in here, which wasn't noted on the listing, although they haven't taken out the motherboard. That is stuck down there pretty nice. So they haven't taken out the board. Oh, that come off beautifully. So maybe someone's been in here just to maybe try and change the battery and then thought, oh no, it's water damaged. I don't think they've been inside. That was stuck down pretty good with that foam. I don't think they've actually messed with it. It's fine. And also, that is in perfect form of how I would expect it to be as well. So I'll just show you the listing for this one. Total cost was £73.02. This was an auction. I bought it on the 29th of October. And the description is Nintendo Switch console water liquid damage for parts or not working with free case. HAC 001 2018. Cool. So quite an expensive one in terms of liquid damage on the Nintendo Switch on eBay. It's on the upper end of what they generally go for, but I don't mind paying a little bit extra. I'll get some money back by making a video, but at the same time, it's in fairly good condition as well, so I mean, probably not got 70 something pounds worth, but it's in decent condition. Kind of weird how this Joy-Con rail is out though. Alright, let's get the board out. Okie doke. And while I'm looking at the board, I'm going to grab another board. So just a random board that I've got lying around. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to charge this. Because that way then, when it comes to actually testing, it should, the key word here is should, but it should have some charge in it. So I'm going to plug that in and I'm just going to leave it. Alright, let's take a look under the microscope and we'll inspect what's going on. Alright, so the first thing that shoots out at me is the fact that we've got corrosion around here. So definitely some issues with the power management chip here. Let's keep looking. And a little bit of liquid got here, but not major. A little bit of a clean. A little bit more liquid around the video IC. Maybe just a clean, hopefully. Bit around the audio. Ooh, that's rough. That's a bit rough as well. Ooh. Alright, I've seen enough. Let's start inspecting with the multimeter. So the first thing I want to know is, do we have a good CPU? Or should we have a good CPU? So I've got my multimeter and I'm going to set it into continuity mode. So if we get a short to ground, it's going to beep. CPU is good, yes. Funnily enough, no more shorts around there. Are we going to get lucky? Are we just going to be able to reflow a few things here? Good. Good. BQ's seen a little bit of liquid damage. Not much though. No visible shorts. A little bit more liquid damage around here, but not major. A little bit on the display driver as well. Sorry, not the display driver, the LCD connector. I think this just needs a good clean. Clean and reflow maybe. Alright, well that could work. So the first thing we're going to do is just reflow M92T36, make sure that we've got a nice connection, and then I'll test again for shorts. It could be that the chip is shorted but not making a contact. So let's just add some flux there. And then I'm going to reflow it using 420 degrees Celsius at 40% airflow. Alright, we'll clean that up in a minute. I think this chip needs a bit of a reflow as well, wouldn't you say? Just a light one. This is one of the CPU power management chips. I'll be careful here because there's a plastic connector right next to it. Not too bad, not too bad. Well, let's give the video IC a reflow. And then once it's all reflowed and cleaned, I can check again for shorts. Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to clean it up using some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to give it a scrub with a toothbrush. Let's scrub the audio IC as well because there was some corrosion around that area. Let's scrub around here. Give it a good clean all the way around. All the way around. What's the deal here? What's happening with this? Alright, I get a feeling we're going to have an issue here. This is probably the worst part. Add some flux, and I'm going to remove these components here. Yoink. Yoink. Bye. Seem to have maybe lost a pad there. It's just savable. Just savable. There you go. Thank you very much. Alright, let's fix these test points here. I'll just scrape away a little bit. Apologies if it goes out of focus, it's because I'm pressing down on the board. Scrape away. And I'm going to make sure that I've got continuity here. I believe I do. Doesn't matter if I expose a bit of copper. Just making sure that we've got no broken line there, because there are wires there that go through to the other side. Alright. Fireworks are go tonight. So there's going to be some booms and bangs. Good. Good. No breaks. That will do. Ah, shucks. Well, I didn't want that capacitor anyway. It's not going to hurt it, one tiny little capacitor. So I'm just going to leave it. One little capacitor's not really going to hurt it much. Alright, so it's time to do a little bit of cleaning around here. Alright, so the liquid damage indicator came off, which is perfectly fine. It was damaged anyway. Okay, do we get a good connection on those pins? It appears as though we do. Good. So if we're getting a good contact, then that means we can test and make sure there's no shorts again. Sweet. Let's give it a test. Alright, so that was the donor board I was using. No CPU or anything on that. Let's give this one a test, shall we? So we'll bring this one back. This has got my motherboard on it. Let's just see, first of all, how does that backlight connector look? And it's going to need new Joy-Con rails. Alright, it's going to need new Joy-Con rails. And it's probably going to need a new backlight connector as well. Or I could repair it by running a jumper wire, because that trace looks like it's gone. So I could repair it by running a jumper wire. I think that's probably what I'm going to do to save some money. Rather than replacing the entire screen, I can repair it. Because that backlight connector is gone, unfortunately. Alright, that's fine. So it looks like it's going to need one jumper wire. Okay, let's get the board in. So screens are expensive. Screens are around about £30 to buy, which will put my total above £100, which would not make it really viable to fix. So let's run a jumper wire to the backlight connector. Yeah, we need a full set of rails because that one got torn. Well, that would explain it. But let's just see if it turns on first. So I'll need to run that jumper wire before I can turn it on. I kind of forgot which one I need to replace. Third one across. Well, alrighty then. So I'm trying to expose the copper that's on the ribbon. Alright, so there's a little bit of solder on the ribbon. I'm going to get some jumper wire, some 0.17mm jumper wire to be precise. Should be sufficient. Ah, drat. It came off. There we go. Okay, so that looks a little bit messed up, but it should clean up okay. Yep, I'm happy with that. There it is, jumper wire as well. Let's try and turn it on. I don't think it's turning on. Hey, there we go. Oh, I didn't think it was going to go then. Is it charging? I don't know if the power button's working. I don't know if the power button's working, but it does show a charge. Huh. I think it might be boot looping. Huh. So we get a charging symbol. Okay, it could have been boot looping because of the NAND being disconnected. Let's leave it to charge. And guess what, ladies and gents? This one is booting up. That is fantastic. So, let's just get the rest of the little things done. Number one is going to be, we need some new Joy-Cons, or Joy-Con rails. Actually, let's leave it charging. So we need 2 new Joy-Con rails. Alright, the next step is going to be to screw this screw down. And then I'm going to connect up the card reader. Or game card reader, more specifically. Add some thermal paste. Reapply the thermal pad. And put it back together. Let's just test it. There we go, it's turning on. Alright, and the final piece to this puzzle, but I believe, I'm going to replace the tri-wing screws because they were a little bit chewed up. And we're done. Number one is complete. Let's see if we get a fully working switch. One thing I did notice was the fact that it's got parental controls on. And I don't know the pin, which kind of sucks. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to contact the seller and get them to give me the pin, because at the moment I can't factory reset it, which is going to suck. It loads a game. Does it connect Joy-Cons? That one connects. That one don't. Ooh, that's not good. Haha. And that's a used Joy-Con. Alright, well, it does not connect to Joy-Con at the moment. It also has some other issues as well. So, number one is I believe it needs a new charger port. Yeah, when I wiggle the charger port, it doesn't charge. So, number one is partially fixed. I'll do a follow-up video on that one. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to contact the seller anyway. So I'll do a follow-up video on that to replace the charger port and also to get that other Joy-Con rail fixed. It was a used Joy-Con rail, so I'll probably need to replace it. So number one is partially fixed for now, but we'll do a follow-up video. And number two is a blue screen of death. So let's take a look. And as you can see, it shows up a blue screen, and that's pretty much it. So a blue screen can be a few things, but we're going to take it apart. We're going to see if we can fix it. So the main thing that causes a blue screen on this is a connection issue on the CPU. And normally the CPU can be reflowed using just normal hot air, and it normally works again afterwards. So we're going to try that, and we're going to see if we can get it working. Unfortunately, we do have another one where it looks like someone has been inside. And the serial number to this one is XAJ400649. I'm not sure if that one is exploitable or not, to be honest. And the board is out. So let's just clean off that thermal paste again. Get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is pop off this CPU shield. And then I'm going to clean off the thermal paste from here as well, because these have two layers on. Then I'm going to take the nozzle from my hot air. I'm going to dry off the IPA first of all. So here we have the CPU, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some flux all the way around the CPU. And then I'm going to reflow the CPU. And the reason for that is because the blue screen of death on a Nintendo Switch is normally caused by a connection issue on the CPU. And it's normally caused by either dropping the switch or because of bending issues, which is fairly common on this particular console. And it causes a connection issue, which in turn causes the blue screen of death. So because of the size of the CPU, I'm going to use hot air. Now unfortunately I can't do it under the microscope. I need to be able to keep my hot air gun straight. So I'm going to do it just on the camera. And I'm going to set my hot air to 420 degrees Celsius at 40% airflow. And I'm going to come in at a distance. So I'm going to start off pretty far away from the board. And just keep moving the air around. I want to try and get a little bit of heat into the board. Once the board's warmed up, I can move in closer. And I'm going to wait for the solder to melt, and then I'm going to give the chip a nudge. Done. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. Now I need this to cool down before I can do anything else. So I'm going to leave it for 5 minutes. I'm going to let it cool down fully, and then I'll clean it off, put the shield back on, and we'll give it a test. Alright, let's give it a clean using IPA and toothbrush. It's still a bit warm, but I want it warm because the flux is going to be easy to clean. Okay, and let's give it a test. So I'm going to leave the shield off because if I put the shield on, I've got to put thermal paste on. And if I've got to take it back off, then I'm going to have to clean thermal paste back off. So I'm going to just see if it boots up or tries to charge without showing a blue screen. And if it does, then great, I'll put it back together. And if not, then it's going to have a reball. So let's just connect up the bare necessities, which is going to be just the backlight, the LCD, and the battery. And let's try and charge it and see what happens. Come on. Oh, haha, no. It's still got a blue screen of death. Alright, let's press down on the CPU. Let's see if anything changes. No. Let's try pressing down on one of the RAM chips. No. Let's try pressing down on the other RAM chip. No. That's unfortunate. Oh, that sucks. Alright, well, unfortunately, number 2 is going to be a no fix completely for now. It's not the end of the world for it. I still have a working housing by the look of it, and there is still the chance of reballing it. So, number 1 needs a charging port, a new Joy-Con rail, because the one that I put on there, as you can see, it's a little bit scratched up, and that wasn't a new Joy-Con rail. So I need to get a new Joy-Con rail, I need to replace the charging port, and I'm also going to need to contact the seller and try and get the passcode so as I can remove the parental controls from the board. So number 1 is a partial fix for now, and number 2, unfortunately, is still a no fix because it's still got a blue screen of death, and at the bare minimum it's going to need a reball, which kind of sucks because I hate reballing these things. But we will do that in part 2, so stay tuned for that. There is going to be a follow-up to these. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do all of that work in one video without it going on for far too long. So I'll have to do another video and I'll get to milk that YouTube money for as much as I possibly can, which is good news, but it also gives you something to look forward to. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section down below. I will always do my best to answer them, and I really enjoy reading your guys' comments. I also enjoy replying to them as well. It gives me something to do in between jobs. If you do want to organise a repair, I do offer repair services for a living. So if you want to organise a repair, check the description. There'll be a link to my website where you can book in the console and send it over for repair. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more, like I said earlier on, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and that way you won't miss any future videos. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a Patreon supporter using the Patreon link in the video description. You can become a channel member using the join button down below the video, or you can head over to Twitch and become a Twitch Prime subscriber by linking your Amazon Prime account, which costs you absolutely nothing, but it does help out the channel a bunch. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.